Now, whether your institution has a departmental license or institutional enterprise-wide license where it's free for students, even if they don't have a license, it's free for faculty. It's free to start an account, free to jump in. It only costs when you assign a student that they don't have a license, just like most instructional technologies that work in this field, that students can pay by month or year or a semester as part of their course fee, and they can get access to the course. I'll show you how to make your course, add your students, create your first assignment, and I'll show you from the student side real quick. So we're going to go here. We're going to pluck new course. You see, I have a couple courses on my dashboard right now, and I can see where I left off. I'm just going to add a new one. We're going to do this course right here. Philosophy, $199. What does, per my last email, really mean? What be the name of this course? You know, let's say this is a summer 2026 course. Description of it. We're going to learn some corporate speak. Course offers a rigorous philosophical examination of language, rituals, and power dynamics embedded in modern corporate communications. Like low-hanging fruit, just to clarify, let's circle back. Create a course. Nice. I'll go back to courses. You'll see course here. Let's make our first defense. So first is I am going to add a new assignment. And now I can see I have several different assessment types. Capstone, AI discussion, language assessment, AI debate. For the sake of this presentation, we're just going to do a simple paper defense. Only select the students. You can pick which one or the entire course. I didn't put any students in here yet. So for now, we'll just say entire course. Now, in the paper, I'm just going to say final research paper. Now, there are a lot of things you can have this kind of walk you through everything that you can put, but bare bones, all you need is select the assignment type, give it a title, who gets it, and then click submit. Everything else past that is extra. As we in Louisiana call lanyard, a little something extra. You can put your due date as what you want it to be. A restricted submission window. When's it available from and until when the students see and when it closes out? And is it published? By default, it's published and visible to students, or is it not? Now, everything in here is that lanyard I talked about. It's just extra stuff you don't have to do. This list says advanced and it's already nestled in. But if you want to look at them, we'll look at them right now. Standard pace, we can go lightning defense. 6 questions, 10-second think time, 40 seconds, 45-second answers. We'll keep it this way. What level? Undergrad, elementary school, doctorals. And we have just a lot of these. I like the evidence challenge round. We could add extra questions at the back end. That's a challenge round, which is show me evidence to support your argument that you put in the paper here. And then they got to look inside their works cited references, and they got to know it, like back in the head where that stuff came from. Right now, we'll keep that up. We'll skip on down. We're going to keep it as simple as possible. We can do session settings. We'll say for a demo, 2 questions, think time, 6 seconds. It's way too much. We're going to give them 15 seconds to come with the answer. How many questions? How long do they got the answer? And how strict are we going to make the AI grading? Lenient, standard, strict? Do we allow unlimited attempts by default or only 1 attempt? If we allow limited attempts and the student goes to take it again as a retake, do we allow them to upload a new paper or document, or they just retake the paper they already had? We'll say this. Why not? Now, if you have a question bank of questions you want to add, a question template, you can. These are all different AI things you can put in there. Source citation verification, counter argument, claim evidence review, methodology challenge, weakness in the rubric follow-up. You can make the questions more organic and keep following up with the student. You want the student to show their ID, show that they are their student ID or their driver's license, that they are who they say they are, not their roommate, not their friend. Environmental scan, look around, make sure there's nothing on the table. And there's a lot of these other things you can do for these integrity trust features. Accessibility inclusion, low bandwidth situations. Do you allow type responses audio only? Do you let them see the captions first and review it and change their captions of what they said before they go? Flexible pausing, reduce UI user interface, which means there's just too much information and you want to keep it a simple interface for them. You can do this. Pronunciation tolerance. Has a bad country accent like me, you can make it tolerant as much as possible. Honor pledge is default, but you can always change it to whatever you want to be. If you want to add manual questions to it, you can say, you not just only have AI ask questions, there's questions I want to be asked. You can add as many questions as you want. That is standard written for you. If you have a rubric already made, you can go here and pick your rubrics. If you want to know where to do that, just click on library, go to rubrics, and create your rubrics there, and you can bring them into any assignment you want without having to redo one each one. Or just name it and use what, change this up right as you want right here as many criterion rows. But by default, I reiterate, the only things you really need to do is pick the assignment type, who it goes to, and title, and make sure it's published. And that's good. All these other things are just adding extra flexibility to everything you can have this assignment. Now that it's created, we're here. Let's go back to our course writing. Now, one of the things we need to do is we need to add our student. Invite students first, or we could go to roster. We can get an invite link and give that to the student, or we can put the student's email, name, and I'll send them an invite by email. Or we can upload a CSV list, which is one row, the email and the name on the other one, and then submit that, and it'll just send it to everybody there. Or if you have a TA or a co-instructor, you invite a collaborator, and they'll come in there, and they could be in here and grade with you and manipulate things as well. Also, something to know, you can do modules, which is, okay. So if we want to put some organization to here, we can click add module. We'll just call this week 1 and put a description you want, optional here. And then once that's created, and also you'll notice that right here where it is this little check mark, this is also publish it, unpublished for the students to see. And also if you want to see, these are your course styles, order it whichever you want, change it to whatever color you want. You can make an announcement to the whole class if you want right here. And you can also see the grade book for everybody that's in the course writing. No students really. But here's our module. We can always just drag this up here, and then you can always set prereqs of other things they got to do before they get to this one. Add text headers, subheaders, external link, add files here, add a page, anything to kind of help that student experience if you want to separate it out that way. Now for the roster, click the copy invite link, and then we're going to go ahead and sign on out. Right. And the student clicks on that link. We'll sign in on our student demo account, join course, and they're enrolled. Now, on the student side, you can see they have this extra one right here, practice. This is where they can practice as many practice problems as they want, which is always fun. Extra value for the student. We're going to go to my courses and see why the student has a couple courses. Here is the one they just got in. It was published, so they can see it. It says not started. So we can go ahead and click paper. Now they can upload their paper, and then they can do a practice run, but they have to upload their paper first. They can do some practice runs if they want. Upload the paper, and the paper I have is, the student really went above and beyond and formatted this peer-reviewed journal article, student's paper. The paper is The Ancient Ritual of Circling Back, a linguistic and anthropological inquiry into corporate email loops. Fascinating stuff. Let's just add that. Uploading. Let's give it a few seconds. And now it's ready. It says device check. We'll proceed to device check. Bam, down here. So I can use this, check my device. Okay. All right. And remember I said allow to use your photo ID. They can put their photo ID. We'll pretend like I put mine up right here. So they know it's them. Environmental scan tells them to pan the camera to the left, pan to the right, pan down, and done with the final scan. Now it's the honor pledge. Do they agree with the statement? Allowed audio only or video audio here. I want to do video audio. I'll put a 15-second think time. And this is tagged as AI generated question follow-up. So as it kind of goes down, and we're recording right now. So how does the paper use humor to highlight underlying inefficiencies of corporate email communication? It uses humor. Things like circling back. I should have read my paper. Maybe I had AI generate this paper and I didn't read it. Now it's saving the answer. AI is going over the transcript. So it's assessing what I'm saying. And then it asks, how confident were you? I can skip, or I can just put a confidence question. Probably put no stars, right? What are the practical implications suggested by the paper? How do they relate to the concept of administrative rituals? Well, it does say that email threads provide evidence of diligence and shared access, even if attachments are never opened or understood. So the email loops, in a way, there's a reduction, but isn't it kind of still good to have that extra evidence? I'm making up as I go. Good thing I only asked 2 questions because I would fail. I would fail. Now, how confident was I? Not confident at all. Overall performance, and give a reflection of how I felt. Submit and review results. View. Now, I didn't select to release it to them right away either. As soon as you can see your score, what went well, what to improve, what to practice next for each one. And right now it just says, your fence has been evaluated. Professor's finalizing feedback. Will show your score and break down here as soon as it's released. So let's log out here as a student. Let's go back into professor mode. So we can go a couple ways. We can go back into the course itself, and I can click manage, and it'll bring me here. But if you have a lot of things going on, you can just click review. And it'll show all the things that are being done. This one right here, integrity right here, when this paper is suspicious. And you see all the review queue of all the things that are coming around. But it wasn't really showing this new one because it's so fresh. It's probably still, still doing an analysis, right? Let's go in here, and we can always give accommodations if we want. Give extra attempts or time, let them do it again. Or you need, evaluate it, needs review. So let's click review. And as you can see right here in the tour, start with the overview, see what the student submitted, read the AI analysis, score against your rubric, resolve flags, integrity, if you want. So starting with that overview, it tells you what went well, what to watch. It's cueing you. Here's the things you should be looking at that the student to understand. It's not making a decision for you. It's helping you make a decision and lead you where to look. That's its score, 40 out of 100. Submission. I can see the paper right here. If I want to download it and see it, I could see the 2 questions it asked. Only 2, right? Here's a transcript. Pretty accurate to what I was saying, right? Here's my response. Or look, here's the other one. And gives neutral. It'll give a different flag if it really wants you to really look at it. One hedging phrase. AI analysis, strength. All I did was I had the paper in front of me and read administrative rituals. Their lack of understanding of the paper's humor and its role in highlighting efficiencies. Responses indicated possible lack of engagement with the paper as noted by the student's own admission of not reading it. I did say that, didn't I, on record? Here's the findings. Here's a rubric, where it grades off the rubric, but also gives you the identity photo and the environment scan that was done. And I can always change the score and give myself a 10. I deserved a 10. And I can You can override any score of the rubric I want, give optional feedback, save and mark as reviewed. Also on this side, I can request a second read from another instructor colleague that's also listed. Attempt management, how many extra attempts, retakes. This is a communication right back to the student. I can also export the student thread, the audit trail. Then I can save and mark for review, release feedback to the student. And that's it. It seems like a lot, but just like when creating the assignment, I gave you every option possible that you could possibly want if you wanted it, but you don't need it if you don't want it. Just like when you create an assignment, just give the type, give the name, who's assigned to, you're good. See a submission, look at the analysis, and if you want to watch some of the videos and give a score. On to the next student. Now, it was released back to the student. So let's go back and see what is going on. Dig back into their paper. Since it's been evaluated, AI gave it 40, but I'm going to override and say, this is what I gave you. And now you see everything. You can retake, ask the AI study code some questions. Got AI built in for students to study even after. They can run a practice session of the same thing over again, but it's not a submission. It'll be a practice session. But if they want to do a submission and retake, remember, I click that little button that says allow unlimited submissions, and I let them upload a new paper if they want, or retake what turns out to do the whole upload thing again. This is a tour of just one of the assignment types, a full circle, the life cycle from making it to the end. I went a little into the weeds. Keep in mind that to make one, all you do is just create the assignment, takes 3 clicks. The students get it, and the student can take the assignment. And then when you get it, it's just a couple clicks away from interested in learning more about Rocketproof. Please visit Rocketproof.ai and request a demo.